Butcher,
Here.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Here.
Commissioner Gandy,
Here.
and Mayor Campos.
Here. Commissioner Butcher, would you lead us in the invocation, please, and the pledge?
Bow your heads, please. Our Heavenly Father, Lord, we want to thank you, Lord, for allowing us all to wake up again, Lord, to see another day. Lord, we ask that you bless each and every one of our families, Lord, that you can give them the strength to carry on in your name. Lord, also bless those troops that's overseas and many places that are taking care of us. Lord, bless this city and the city commission that we may do the right things for the city of Lovington. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I salute the flag
of the state of Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard.
That's funny. Lisa's on. That's all right. Okay, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
I motion we approve the agenda as submitted.
Second that.
All right. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion for the consideration of the regular meeting minutes of August 22nd, 2016.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll go into the commissioners and staff report. We'll start out with Mr. Wyatt. Nothing at this time, sir. Very good, thank you. Gary?
And if I may, your mayor and commission, I just want to give you an update on what's going on with our software implementation. We're planning our first go live date on September the 21st. It's been a real challenge getting to that point because while it won't be the full implementation of all the software, we've had to go through a couple of changes with the project managers with the software company. And we've had situations where some features that I understood that we were going to get, they really were not part of the contract. And frankly, I was upset and made sure that I got some people to support us. So fortunately, their salespeople supported me and made it clear that, look, this is what they understood. We should provide them this service. And then, it's been a challenge too for the last couple of months, especially because the first project manager gave us a drop dead date of when we would go live, but he did nothing to help us get the training that we're supposed to have in advance, which we should not be going through now, but we have to now. And then, of course, he didn't schedule the proper staff from their company to come here and help us to get data and get it properly transferred and implemented. So, we've been going through kind of a rough road. I'm really thankful to say, though, that we've got a really good person on our staff that's helping us right now. It's because we want to meet the go-live dates and have this short deadline. It's been really rough going. But I'm thankful to say that all the features and everything we have to say about the software look very positive.
Just for confirmation, you are talking about Tiger Technologies?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Was there some, would you like to say there's a breach in contract or when you make that statement, or are we getting compensated for it or no? For the
Mayor and Commissioners, there's not been a breach.
okay.
It's just been very frustrating with the amount of work that we have to do. And now that we have our new account manager on board, things are lined out a lot better as far as deadlines that they're expecting us to have things, and also deadlines that we set as well.
All right, thank you.
So,
Just one last note on that. One of the challenges that we have are their data requests. And it's things that they're asking for pretty standard type reports. So for example, a trial balance report. However, the current software we have while I can generate a trial balance report, it doesn't give you the information in rows and columns, which is really a standard from the last cities I've worked with. With all our reports would come in rows and columns. So it's not easy for them to, I have to recreate the reports essentially before I give it to them so that they have something that's usable for them.
Let me ask you this, Gary. Did they provide any assurances to the city that they did not meet initially?
There was a misunderstanding on my part. I clearly thought that related to our payroll implementation with the software, that we were getting features that we did not actually contract for. And that's where I was really thankful for the support of their sales force. They had a couple of guys that came here and gave us the presentation and understood that the language of the contract really did not meet our expectations. And so we worked with them to get the contract amended to implement this time entry stuff with payroll that I was expecting.
Any problems with getting kicked out of the system while you're on it?
No, sir, not at this time.
And the reason I'm asking is because, I'll be honest with you, the schools are using the same system, and they're having a terrible time with it. Things that I'm talking about now, some things that were promised that aren't going to fulfilled, and so they're having a heck of a time with this system. So I knew that we had bought the same system. That's why I was interested to find out how we felt about it and the perception we had. So,
Is the school hosted? Because we're going with a hosted solution. In other words, we're using our internet capacity to access the software and use their programs and gain the data that way.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I know they're having a lot of trouble in all areas, all the employees, teachers, diagnosticians, ancillary staff, everybody's having trouble with it. Yes, sir.
No, that is a good question that Gary asked.
Okay.
It's whether y'all I guess we can always call the IT department,
Okay.
find out, because there is quite a bit of a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I should also add this, that it's really encouraging for me when I have, for example, my payroll clerk who is very intimidated about this change to start with, even today is telling me, because she was doing some training just today related to payroll. She says, you know, I'm looking forward to this software. It's going to make things so much better.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Anna?
Nothing, sir, thank you.
All right.
I have nothing
Commissioner.
for you.
All right. Commissioner Butcher?
No, I just, on a light note, I just want to thank James and the staff for giving us a better view of our meeting. You know, we're getting older, them eyes, we need it. I don't even need my glasses.
I can almost read it now.
But, no, that's,
And I just wanted to mention, make mention of the First Responders Day. That was pretty fun to go out and watch. I enjoyed it. You guys did a great job, and
Go ahead and roll that video. James, go ahead and roll that video.
the tug of war, you don't have it, I have it. And so, who were the winners of that? James?
Overall?
Yes,
Fire department.
Fire Department. Congratulations, Chief.
We won't mention your work.
Very good. All right. And I will say that they were actually the actual first responders and rescuers, because during the volleyball tournament, the volleyball got stuck by the tree, so they were able to bring the volleyball down, just like a cat. Got the ladder and everything out there. All right. Commissioner Trujillo,
No, thank you.
Commissioner Gandy.
Well, I have, James, on the 13th in Yucca, that street light's been out for a little while. So, and then I appreciate y'all fixing the school zone lights the other day. That's awesome. Other than that, I don't have anything for
Thank you. Chief Rodriguez.
Just the same thing as you, just wanted to tell Raylan and her staff, thank you for that, it was awesome.
Yes,
We enjoyed it.
Appreciate that. Chief Luzon.
Broken record, but thank you again. It was, the guys very much enjoyed it. And, you know, not to brag or anything, it was a good game.
I noticed y'all were getting tired, but that's when the volleyball ended up in the tree. I don't know how that happened.
You know, the SO did get very aggressive there towards the end, but we were able to pull through.
Okay.
Jeanette Sandoval is the one that served it. She doesn't know how to serve, and she's the one that would knock it up on the tray.
Oh.
It happened twice.
Twice?
Twice.
All right. If anybody that hasn't seen the tug of war, I got it on video. I'll show you.
Oh, it's on Facebook. I posted it on.
Oh, did you?
Hey, y'all, mine.
Oh, my God. Was Nancy in the front? Oh.
That's pretty funny. Y'all need to see
No, she
it.
didn't sign a waiver.
All right, thank you, sir. James?
Just a reminder that City Hall will be closed the 22nd and 23rd, next Thursday and Friday, due to the software upgrades.
Tyler, software?
Yes, sir.
All right. Patrick, sir?
Not exactly.
All right, thank you. All right. Nothing else, then we'll go on into public comment. At this time, if anybody'd like to get up and address the commission, you're welcome to do so. State your name, and you have 3 minutes.
I'm Betty Price. I have a question. When can we get the potholes on Jefferson from 17th to 13th fixed? That's like, ugh, you can't dodge the potholes.
They're currently working on that. They patched 2 holes that were over on J and 5th Street today. They had to actually cut them out, but they are going to start tomorrow.
It's
That one,
terrible.
It is in our CDBG grant that we did get funding to replace from 13th Street to 17th Street, reconstruct the whole road.
Good deal, because that is ferocious.
Yes, ma'am.
You can lose a Suburban in it. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing nobody else step up, we'll go into non-action items. James?
This is the proclamation.
Oh, I'm sorry. The one I've already signed?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Just need to read that aloud, and
Okay, very good.
we'll make sure we forward that.
All right. This is titled the General Aviation Appreciation Month for 2016, and this is a proclamation by the City of Lovington. Whereas the City of Lovington and the State of New Mexico has a significant interest in the continued vitality of general aviation, aircraft manufacturing, aviation educational institutions, aviation organizations, and community airports, and whereas general aviation and the Zip Franklin Memorial Airport have an immense economic impact on the City of Lovington, and whereas New Mexico is home to 53 public-use general aviation airports, which serve 4,562 pilots and 2,562 active general aviation aircraft. And whereas New Mexico is home to 39 fixed base operators, 23 repair stations, 181 heliports, 7 FAA approved pilot schools, 888 flight students, and 628 flight instructors. And whereas general aviation in New Mexico contributes over $1.1 billion to the state's total economic output. And whereas general aviation not only supports New Mexico's economy, it improves overall quality of life by supporting the emergency medical and healthcare services, law enforcement, firefighting, and disaster relief, and by transporting business travelers to their destinations quickly and safely. And whereas the nation's aviation infrastructure represents an important public benefit, and congressional oversight should be in place to ensure stable funding of this system. Now, therefore, I, Paul Campos, Mayor of the City of Lovington, do hereby proclaim general aviation a vital strategic resource to the City of Lovington and declare September as General Aviation Appreciation Month throughout the City of Lovington. Done at the City Commission meeting on this date, 12th day of September 2016, signed by myself. All right. Good. All right. Without further discussion, we'll go into action items. I'll consider a motion for the resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept Resolution 2016-82, 2018-2022 ICIP approval.
Second that.
And we have a second. James?
Mayor and Commissioners, this is a required document in order for us to submit our infrastructure capital improvement plan, local government division at Department of Finance and Administration. We do this every year. This document is actually due in Santa Fe by this Thursday. We did request an extension so we had more time for public comment on the plan. We did host public meetings on August 15th and August 29th and received no public comment on the plan. This is got quite a few more projects on it this year. One of the things that we did do is we have completed our street assessment, and we broke these down by streets that exist in each voting district and prioritize them based on a grading scale that we use as far as severity. So the numbers that we have there, those are actual just estimates on street, whether it would be a mill and overlay, just routine maintenance, or a complete replacement, and also making sure that the sidewalks and ramps are all ADA accessible. We are refining that, but this gives us at least an estimate of what we are looking at. Our top 5 projects that we will be submitting for possible capital outlay appropriations, of course, following up with our North Commercial Bypass to finish that project out from Van Buren to the Tatum Highway. Second one is the development of a sports complex here in Lovington. Of course, industrial park and infrastructure expansion in the industrial park. We will be seeking NMFA funding for a development of the infrastructure plan out there at the park. We'll actually have a resolution approving that application for the grant at your next commission meeting. We also have our number 4 project is an aerial fire apparatus. The existing apparatus we have is in need of replacement. We've been in discussion with the actual vendors on that, and they provided us some recommendations. And then, of course, finishing out our police department firing range project that we have with security fencing and other upgrades that are needed out there at that facility. Those are our top 5, and I would stand for any questions you may have.
I just had a question for Chief Rodriguez. How is that building that was donated to us? Was it set okay out there? Did it work?
Yes, it's a 2008 model.
Okay. And what do we pay for that?
No.
The setting?
Oh, the setting, the foundation, I think total combined foundation and the transportation, we probably paid roughly about $16,000.
16.
Yeah.
But that was for both buildings.
No, the foundation, the transport both buildings was.
That's right.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. So that's working out pretty good for us?
Yes, yes.
Is it in use already?
Partially.
Okay. All right, very good. Any other questions about it, discussion by the commission? Any other items in the ICIP? All right, very good.
Mayor.
Yes.
The only thing I might add is that we do have a tab on our website that will have this, that already has the draft of this plan, and it will be updated tomorrow to remove the draft watermark.
Okay.
If it's approved as is tonight.
Very good. Any discussion? Seeing none. To a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We'll entertain another motion.
Make the motion, we consider resolution 2016-83, approval of capital outlay agreement 16-A2269 STD radio and read water meters, naming official representatives and granting administrative authority.
I'll second that.
We have a second. James.
Mayor, Commissioners, this resolution is very similar to the next couple that we have.
Right.
Required paperwork for our capital outlay grant. This one's for $220,000 for our radio read water meter project. This will name the mayor and I as official representatives, and also Dora Batista of the Southeastern Economic Development District as our fiscal agent.
Very good. Comments by the commission, questions? All right, hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'll entertain another motion.
I'd like to make a motion to consider resolution 2016-84, approval of capital outlay agreements 1684, 4045 STB wells and water system improvements, naming official representatives of the Grant Administration Authority.
Second that motion.
We have a second by Commissioner Sanchez. James?
Mayor Commissioners, this is for a $100,000 capital outlay appropriation through the New Mexico Environment Department. This will be used for further development of our water wells and water system in the South Well Field.
Very good. Thank you. Comments by the commission? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain another motion.
Make a motion, we consider resolution 2016-85 MOU between the City of Lovington, Southeast New Mexico Economic Development, COG, for fiscal agent services for capital outlay agreement 16-84045.
I'll second that.
We have a second. James?
Mayor Commissioners, this MOU is a requirement from the New Mexico Environment Department identifying our fiscal agent.
All right. Any discussion, questions from the commission? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain the next motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2016-86, approval of capital outlay agreement 16-A2447, evidence storage and impound facility, naming official representative and granting administration authority.
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Butcher. James?
Mayor Commissioners, this is for our evidence and storage facility, $150,000 in capital outlay funding from the Department of Finance and Administration. This will actually help us complete that project across the street.
What exactly does that entail, James, if you don't mind me asking?
Once the agreement's signed, we actually have already started on this, of course, with the portable building that we received. This will actually be installation of security fencing, dirt work to level the pad, and eventually construct a garage for vehicle storage for impound or seized vehicles.
All right, very good. Thank you. Any other discussion by the commission? No discussion, we'll take it to a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain the next motion.
Make a motion, we consider Mr. Campos for 2016-87 Community Health and Wellness Center Advisory Committee appointment.
We have a second, Commissioner Sanchez. Your motion specifies that I be one of the persons that sit on the committee. Is that right, Commissioner Trio?
Yes.
We need two.
But there's two.
Okay.
I'd like to step
You want-
down.
oh, you
No,
want to step
because I've been hideous. It's always the wrong time for me, so.
I believe it asks for commissioner and or staff member. Is that correct, James?
That's our recommendation.
Okay. Any recommendation on staff?
I would love to do it.
Okay. Okay. Would you care to amend your?
Yeah, I amended where Mr. Campos and Mr. Williams be appointed to the Community Health and Wellness Center Advisory Committee.
Second that.
And you had the original second, right, Commissioner Sanchez? Are we good with that? Gotcha. All right. Okay. Anything else to discuss on that point, James?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So the recommendation is from Commissioner Trujillo that myself and James be appointed to that committee. And we have been attending those meetings already, so we appreciate the opportunity again. All right. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'll entertain another motion.
I consider Resolution 21688, transfer surplus equipment to the town of Tatum.
Second.
We have a second. James or Chief?
Mayor and Commissioners, this equipment that we have is surplus radios. As part of this P25 upgrade, the old radios that we have were only phase one upgradable. We got a grant through the emergency management through the county and replaced all of our radios. So they're still on phase one, these old radios, or can be upgraded to phase one. So it would be turning over 10 handheld radios over to the fire department in Tatum.
All right, very good. Thank you. Any discussion, questions, comments by the commission? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll consider the next motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to consider make a motion for resolution for school zone signage on 4th and Avenue E.
Second that.
We have a second by Commissioner Butcher. James?
Mayor and Commissioners, we were actually contacted by a resident in the area of 4th and Avenue E in concern to some traffic control measures to be taken. We do have a privately run daycare right there at the corner of 4th and E, and they were concerned about traffic and the speeds going down those roads. Police department, they did a speed study using a radar trailer, and the recommendation is to establish a school zone. This is actually the only, I guess, daycare business that actually has its own, other than a home occupation, that is not within a school, reside within a school zone. So following the manual and uniform traffic code regulations, they recommend that we place a school zone basically 200 feet from the property, and it will be what the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended that we approve this. That it also, the only exception is that it will have end of school zone signs as well.
Can you tell us about the speed study we looked for?
I don't even have it with me. I think I was
All
gonna.
right, just any idea what they revealed?
Yeah,
Do we have
it's a
speed
lot of
limits?
vehicles coming through there, more than what we anticipated actually coming through. The highest that's going through was in the 40s, and that was later in the evenings. So, yeah, definitely, there's a lot of traffic and a lot of speed.
Do you have a question?
Yes, will we be installing crosswalks, that way kind of
No, sir.
No.
That was not one of the recommendations.
Okay.
Because most of the students, or most of the children there are dropped off by parents, correct?
Yes, sir.
They're not walking from home to the actual daycare
Correct.
center.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, James, it kind of slipped through. You were saying with the privately owned daycare, it was inside the school zone. So my question is, the one that is out on Avenue D?
That is a state highway, and we have no
Well, no,
control
but that
over
was-
where that is.
Right,
So
so-
thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I did
Yeah.
misspeak. Yeah, that one is located right outside of the school zone.
Yeah, so I didn't know if they were supposed to extend that, to bring that in. I know that'd be a nightmare, but I mean, so.
We could put in that request to the state.
I just wanted, that way it would,
Okay.
bring that facility up to the same hoop this is. It really slows me down from the parts store. Well, it ain't the sign, it's the cops.
Maybe both.
All right, very good. Any other discussion? Anything else, James? on
No,
that?
sir.
All right, very good. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And I'll consider the next motion.
Make a resolution for consignment accounts payable.
Second it.
We have a second by Commissioner Trujillo. Gary?
If I may, your mayor and commission, the single largest payable item is to the Waste Management Authority, $117,693. If you have any other questions, I'm available to answer them.
James Cook and Hobson.
I know exactly.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
The Mayor Commissioners, that is for repair to a blower out at
Oh,
the wastewater treatment plant.
What happened to that blower?
Actually, there's three blowers set up for SBRs and digesters, and they actually kick on to aerate the system. And one of the motors, the bearings went out, and they totally had to rebuild it. While it was down, they actually had another one go out at the same time. So they shipped one to us after they rebuilt it, and then we had to send another one out right after that. And these motors, just general repair and maintenance have been done since 2006, I believe, since these have been put in. So 10 years on the blower itself.
We have blower blowouts.
Blower.
Blower failure. And Gary, the wastewater payment, is that routine or is that higher
Yes.
than expected?
Yes, we actually pay that monthly. This is actually a lower bill. A lot of times they're in the 130,000 range.
Okay. How's their service been, James?
With waste management,
Yes, sir.
Mayor, Commissioners, honestly, I haven't received a complaint directed towards me about waste
Really?
management in a while, except my mom did complain.
Tell us about it.
It had to do with overweight can that her neighbor had utilized and overfilled the can, but we got the issue straightened out.
All right, very good. Any other discussion by commission? There being none, we'll take it to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'll entertain another motion.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to thank Marla and Ron for the coffee cups. I forgot to say
yeah,
that
absolutely.
one. Appreciate that before we close out.
Thank you much.
I like them cups. Make a motion, we go into closed session pursuant to section 10-15-1 NMSA 1978, subsection H-8 regarding the purchase, acquisition, or disposition of real property, potential acquisition of water rights, potential purchase of property for economic development, and quality of life, subsection H-2 regarding limited personnel matters, employee resignation.
We got a second. We have a second by Commissioner Sanchez. On, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sanchez,
Yes.
Commissioner Butcher,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
and Mayor Campos.
Yes. We will now go into closed session. Thank you.
matters discussed in closed session were limited to those specified in the motion for closure, and no action was taken.
Second that.
We have a second by Commissioner Trujillo. Item, roll call, please.
Sure. Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Butcher,
Yes.
and Commissioner Sanchez, and Mayor Campbell.
Yes. All right, motion carries. Without there being any other issues to discuss, we'll call this meeting adjourned.